Welcome back to Raiders Unlocked. Today we're going to be discussing some great news. All 8 of our 2024 draft pick have been signed. This is great news. Another area we're going to talk about is some of the swirling news in regards to Terrion Arnold and what are some comments that he's made in regards to the Raiders draft pick, Brock Bowers over him. And then lastly, we're going to go over the 2024 schedule that was released. We are still awaiting the actual dates for it, but for right now, we will go over some of those details and teams that we will be facing. All right, lock it in. Raiders Unlocked is starting now. All right, thanks for joining us at Raiders Unlocked, fellas. As we mentioned, there has been some breaking news coming out of Las Vegas that all of our 8 draft picks have been signed. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the signings. What are some of the details that are surrounding them? In this particular video, we're just going to really talk about Brock Bowers and JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson. So what do their numbers look like, and what are some of the other players and their positions that we were able to sign? So all right, so our first round pick, as mentioned here, Raiders signed first round pick, tight end Brock Bowers, 6'3", 243, out of Georgia. I mean, he was killing the game, the college game out there. And so Raiders are happy that we were able to select him. Looks like he played 40 games over 3 seasons, total 175 receptions, 2,500 yards. I mean, come on, guys, come on. 26 touchdowns. Now, this is what we're talking about here. This is what the Raiders need. Over the last couple of years, we've had some trouble in the red zone. So keep in mind, this is exactly what Tom Telesco, Antonio Pierce, Getty needed. This is what Getty needed in Chicago. So just to go over really quick, first round draft pick, Brock Bowers signed a fully guaranteed 4-year contract worth $18.1 million with a option for a 5th season. So depending on how things go, we will be looking into signing him long term. As you guys already know, we already have Michael Mayers. We locked him down last year and he did fairly well. So we're really looking to have it where Mayer is able to continue his growth with having Brock on the other side of the offensive line. Let's see. Next up, we do have Jackson Powers Johnson, again 6'3", 328 pounds. He came out of Oregon, so he's going to be seeing the Broncos every twice a year with their quarterback selection. So hopefully we can get some good work out of him. For Jackson Powers, we are looking at 8.7, almost $8.8 million deal, fully guaranteed. He does have a signing bonus of 3.2, which is interesting because I don't believe there was a signing bonus for Brock Bowers, but he did get a fully guaranteed. So I guess that's neither here nor there. Keep in mind, we do have our other selections. We're talking about our running back, our 3rd round pick defensive tackle, DJ Glaze, signed. Decarian Richardson, signed. Dylan Lobb, signed. Tommy the Gun Eichenberg. Let's go, baby. We didn't get a linebacker last draft. This year we got one. Trey Taylor, safety, and then last is MJ Devonshire. I know there's a lot of Raider fans that are looking forward to what he's going to be bringing to the table, and so that's something interesting that we'll be looking out for on what those camp battles are going to look like. How is Devonshire going to compete with our last year's I think it was 4th round pick Bennett? He had some troubles last year, right? He was getting beat like a drum. So let's see how Devonshire and Bennett compete for either that cornerback or backup cornerback position. Next up, I did want to go over some recent news in regards to the selection of Brock Bowers in regards to Terrion Arnold. So there is some news that came out recently. Let's see here. It says Raiders dispute Terrion Arnold's claim that Brock Bowers was drafted by a coin flip. I mean, if you know, come on, guys. Tell me you're a Chiefs fan. Tell me you're a Chargers fan trying to talk smack about the Raiders, right? Tell me you're a Broncos fan trying to gaslight the Raiders. So one of the things we want to point out is that Terrion Arnold was on record indicating that after the draft took place, there was a coach that called him, indicated that it really came down to a coin flip. Keep in mind, these things are said, half-heartedly in jest. It doesn't actually mean that there was a coin flip in the war room. We're not, Telesco's not out here flipping coins and throwing dimes around. I mean, let's be realistic, guys. This is likely said, and we're not disputing that, someone from the Raiders did reach out to him and did say this. What we're disputing is the seriousness and the realisticness of whether a physical coin was actually tossed in the draft room. So, there is a comment here from Ryan Clark. Spoke to Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce and denied speaking to Terrion Arnold. No call and no coin flip. So interesting enough, he did say that they didn't even talk to him. So, I mean, I guess the ball's back in the Lions' court with Terrion Arnold. He does go on and say, as soon as the last two QBs went off the board, we said Bowers all the way, AP said. He also said the Bowers pick was ready before Raiders were on the clock. Again, I mean, we have to think about it. Did we expect going into the draft that there was going to be an unprecedented 6 quarterbacks taken off of the first round within the first 12 picks? No, absolutely not. There's a multitude of these quarterbacks that were predicted to go into the second round. So when you're playing the field and you're doing best player available, BPA, and Brock is on everyone's big board as one of the top 3 to 5 best players on the draft, the Raiders did the right thing. They selected Brock Bowers. And so, granted, again, we didn't expect that. We expected the board to fall a certain way. Maybe Penix was going to be there. Maybe Terrion Arnold was going to be there. But look, things fall the way they did. Atlanta played the game a little differently than what we expected. And so, we have to do what we think is right. So, looks like our interdivision rivals have kind of, stirred the pot a little bit. Next up, we are going to talk about just really quick the scheduling that was released. Keep in mind, these aren't with the dates attached. These are just games that we know are going to be played. We don't have the actual schedule itself. So daytime for these games. So just to go really quick, we have eight home games. Honestly, Denver Broncos, we expect the Raiders to beat them. We do expect to split at the very least with Kansas City. If we can split with them, I do believe we have a very strong chance of us making it into the playoffs. We should take 2 from LA Chargers. The Browns are going to be pretty difficult because they have a really strong running game. And so, interesting, that'll be interesting game itself. Steelers, they stole one from us last year. Let's be honest. We should have had that game if it wasn't for McDaniels crap in the bed there. And this is going to be a really interesting game in Atlanta Falcons, because they took our first round pick, Michael Penix. That was our guy. Anyways, I'm not going to do all of that. Carolina Panthers, easy win, get that dub. Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to be a tough one. They're not the Jags of the old. So that'll be, you know, something that we'll have to battle out with them. That could be a toss-up game. For the away games, again, Broncos, KC, this likely may be the one where we may lose. Granted, last year we did beat them at home. So these types of games, they can go in any direction. But as long as we're competitive, as long as our defense is doing what defense needs to do, hold them down, get those interceptions, get those turnovers. And remember, we still got big boy Christian Wilkins, mad crazy man Max. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Chargers, you know, they're gonna take a dump in the bed. Baltimore, best quarterback in the league, in my personal opinion. So that's something to keep an eye on. That could be a close call. That'll be a tough one. Another tough one. Cincinnati, best quarterback duo, one of the top 6-7 quarterbacks in the league. And then we got our old man Derek Carr coming. We're coming home to see him. Or we're going to New Orleans to go see him. So hopefully our defense shows up and we can really show out there. Tampa Bay, they made it into the playoffs last year with Baker Mayfield. He's been playing well the last couple of years. And then, interesting enough, we played the Dolphins last year, and it looks like we're going to be making another return over there. But now there's a bit of a storyline now that we got Christian Wilkins. So love to see it. And then lastly, we have LA Rams. So depending on the time of the year, hopefully we do play Miami in the later part of the year. Obviously, it's a sunny weather city. So that's something that we really are hoping to have in our schedule this year. Anyways, let me ask you guys something. Who do you guys think is going to lead week 1 as quarterback? Are we talking Aidan O'Donnell, team Aidan O'Donnell, or team Gardner Minshew? You know, right now, Coach AP has already indicated that it's really Aidan O'Connell's position to lose. So if he slings it like he did last preseason, I really do think that he'll maintain that role. But what do you guys think? Who do you think will lead us into the playoffs this year? Anyways, thank you guys for joining us on Raiders Unlocked. Again, drop a like, hit that subscribe button. This is the second channel. This is the second video, guys. We had 500 views on our last video. Mind you, it was the first video. So thank you for all you guys for checking us out, giving us a chance, and you know, hopefully we can see you again on the next episode of Raiders Unlocked. Peace.